The on-set drama that never actually really took place on the set of Avengers Doomsday is getting absolutely insane now. If you go on TikTok, there is so many people claiming they have sources claiming they can confirm that yes, it's 100% Ryan Reynolds has beef with Robert Downey Jr. And it's fascinating because according to the internet, they've never even met each other in real life, like person to person. They've never been in front of each other ever in terms of working on a movie project. Now, what I find interesting is some people suggest this stems all the way back to Deadpool and Wolverine. Writers said Robert Downey Jr. turned down an Iron Man cameo and the Avengers scene that didn't happen. We wanted him to do a cameo. We had written the scene to start with Happy and Downey. Okay, yeah, there was a scene, but Robert Downey Jr. didn't need to be in it. And then this article is actually, these articles, they're fluff pieces, but let's be honest, lads. And it says, oh, Downey doesn't say no to Ryan Reynolds, does he? No one says no to Ryan Reynolds. Ryan gave him the hard press. We wrote a scene and Downey read the scene, but we didn't know behind the scene was this Doctor Doom thing. The writers said they originally planned Downey, Favreau, and Ryan's was actually pretty close to the scene the audience saw. People are making this stuff up. They really are. Now, the only reason this is staying relevant is because recently the trades came out and one of them says, yeah, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool's in the movie. Another one said, no, he isn't. So now you've got representation from Ryan Reynolds' team. Can't even confirm if he's in the movie. So the only reason this has kind of caused a bit of controversy now is because his reps are like, we're not even sure if he's in the movie, because obviously this stuff, you sign non-disclosures, you sign NDAs. It's not publicly confirmed he's in the movie. Sure, he posted on his personal Instagram, crossing over the Avengers logo, implying he's going to be in the movie. But this whole story that started from John Roker. Now, John Roker's got a better track record than most of the scoopers, let's be honest. He was the first person to say that Punisher and the Hulk would be in Spider-Man 4. So he's got a better track record than most of the scoopers. But at the same time, if you're not willing to say the whole story, why come out and say something? It's like you're saying half a truth, but not the full truth. It's like you come out and say, yeah, two big actors got after each other, misunderstanding, it was all squashed. But since then, it's everywhere now. Now, you got to understand, Robert Downey Jr. has never missed when it comes to Marvel. He's made over $500 million personally. He has creative control. The Russo brothers said he's writing his own story for Doctor Doom. He literally has creative control. Ryan Reynolds, as much clout as he probably has at Marvel, he isn't going to be an important character in the sense of he's not going to have crazy screen time. Now, it's recently come out. Now, all this information that comes out to me, it's absolutely freaking nonsense. So the actor that plays Nullmore says each character will have smaller roles in Avengers Doomsday. There's something like 20-something characters involved in the story, more like 50. It's more condensed since they have to give space to all the characters and the different universes. There is that many characters in this movie. It's a 2.5-hour movie, right? I'm sure if Deadpool appears in this movie, you've seen what happened in Deadpool and Wolverine. He's at the TVA. He's an anchor being, with Wolverine. So sure, he will have a kind of important role in this movie. But he ain't going to have creative control. He's not going to have as much leeway. Do you realize the deal that Robert Downey Jr. has for this movie? Gets back end after 750. Gets a private jet. Gets a private security detail. He's literally got a holiday home on the Pinewood Studio plot, right? It's his movie. What he says goes. I don't think it is. Let's play devil's advocate. If this story is true, now, allegedly, right, there's lots of stories going around. So this stems from when someone came out and said that he had to reshoot 3 weeks worth of filming because the method actor wasn't working and he wanted to be in the suit and do all the acting himself. Now, I get it. Actors have different roles in different movies, and if there was other actors involved in these scenes, then they would have to come back and reshoot stuff just because RDJ wasn't happy. I get it in that sense. Most actors, unless you're top tier actors, actually struggle to make a full-time living from it. Because let's be honest, most of the actors in this movie, they're not huge actors. Outside of a handful of people, you barely see him in any movies anywhere. So people think it's Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal isn't really a big actor. If you go through his cine files, yes, Pedro's appeared in a lot of movies recently, but none of them have actually done that well. So I love the speculation of who it could have been. But at the same time, I'm still not buying this story that Ryan Reynolds is getting into a fight on set with Robert Downey Jr. because according to TMZ, they've never even met in real life. I mean, they've probably been at the same, Oscars, awards ceremonies and stuff like that, but they've never actually worked on a project and been in a scene together. So for TMZ to have to come out, well done, John Roker, because although you didn't start the rumor, you said something that has made the internet think that RDJ is now in a massive fight with Ryan Reynolds. But this is actually good in a way, because again, it's indirect marketing. So whatever they're actually doing on set, it's kind of been undershadowed. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the leaks since this came out, they've been minuscule. And then what happens is you get a lot of other people pulling in what happened on another movie with Ryan Reynolds' wife, going, oh, Ryan Reynolds got involved with that. And, someone said something about that on set to Ryan and he got heated and stuff like that. The amount of money they had to spend on lawyers in that case, do you really think they want another case like this? No. So Deadpool and Wolverine is one of Marvel's few successful movies alongside Spider-Man No Way Home that's actually grossed over $1 billion recently. Now, Ryan Reynolds is an important person to the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. We know that. He's like Hugh Jackman. No one else can play him. No one else could play Deadpool. Let's be honest, lads. It's just not going to happen. So it is nonsense. It is hyperbole. And you're seeing all the gossip YouTubers, right, that aren't even in the pop culture space. The gossip TikTokers all getting involved, saying, oh my God, is Blake Lively getting involved in drama on a Doomsday set? Ryan Reynolds is going to be in this movie for less than literally 20 minutes. And there is so many conspiracy theories that, oh, Ryan Reynolds said something about Scarlett Johansson and RDJ is so close to her that he found it disrespectful. Like, so many made-up stories of what is actually going on. And to date it back to Robert Downey Jr. didn't want to do a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine, it's absolutely nonsense because the scene still played out the exact same way that it would have played out even if he wasn't in it, because he didn't actually need to be in it, and it was more impactful that the fact he wasn't in it. But I keep seeing the same people talking about this so-called on-set fight and actors have huge egos. Yes, they do. But when you get to RDJ's level, he's made over $500 million himself playing Iron Man. He is Marvel God, right? He created the MCU. So there is no backlash. Whatever RDJ wants goes. But I don't believe this nonsense that RDJ and Ryan Reynolds are getting into a fight. And I really hope there is an actual sequence with Deadpool and with RDJ. And when the Deadpool costume comes out, Ryan Reynolds isn't really under it most of the time. So a lot of people think they won't work together. They don't really need to work together because unless he's taking the mask off, and you can all CGI this anyway. So this has caused so much hyperbole, so much nonsense over the last couple of weeks. And it's a story that I don't necessarily believe is even real because Ryan Reynolds isn't a key player to this movie. Sure, he could be because he's heavily involved with the TVA, and we have the Thor kind of Deadpool scene, don't we, that everyone wants to see play out. But you have people saying this is what happens when you start a movie without a finished script. The script is basically done, 95% done. So, sure, I do want to see Deadpool and doom in the scene, for sure. RDJ won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor with Oppenheimer. And people say he absolutely is not a good actor outside of Marvel. Well, he proved it in Oppenheimer. And a lot of people that watch comic book movies don't watch real movies, as sad as that is to say. So this nonsense, and people keep doing updates. I literally, every time I flick on TikTok, I've seen the same people making 25 videos about this story. And most of them don't even talk about Marvel. They're just talking about this. It's like huge updates. It's like, there's no updates. TMZ's getting involved now because it's become a big story. And you've got Ryan Reynolds' teams getting involved saying, what? He's not even in the movie. So it is funny to me. And I will talk about it here and there. But the Marvel news is being overslayed by this so-called on-set drama between two actors that never even happened. There's always arguments and stuff that goes on in normal jobs, right? I say normal jobs. I mean, like, you know, not Hollywood jobs, not high-profile jobs. So, of course, it's going to happen. But it is interesting to me how people think that these so-called scoopers insiders can tell you all this stuff, but they can't tell you anything about the actual movie. Like I keep saying, until someone comes out and says who Sadie Sink is, character, until someone says who the main villain for Spider-Man 4 is, I don't believe you can find out about drama on set. But you can't find out who's actually doing stuff in the movie. You can't find out plot details, but you got a source on set telling you two actors went at it. I really wish John Roger literally came out and said who went at it, because then you could actually get receipts and actually ask them and get press, get someone to ask their team, because we don't know. You're just guessing that it's RDJ. If it is true, you know, let's say hypothetically speaking, I don't even think RDJ's involved in this. RDJ does not get involved in nonsense. Like, only the actors that work with RDJ are going to be getting close to him. He's not going to be randomly walking on set for fun. No actor does anything for free. Anyway, that's the update. The update is the story's probably most likely fake. I'm not saying the source isn't fake, because John Roker got the stuff right about Spider-Man 4. Seems more credible than most of Twitter scoopers. But yeah, I wanted to do an update because it's nonsense and it's literally everywhere. And, you know, I've talked about all this kind of stuff for years, about the just behind the scenes Justice League drama. I always talk about this kind of stuff, but not too much, because that's not really, I'm not a drama channel. That's not really what this channel's about. So like always, guys, I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.